So 2 Esdras 2 and 40, I'm going to start again, okay? And this precept directly correlates with Revelation 7 and 9, okay? Pretty much answers who is going to be in all white, all right, standing before the throne, before the Lamb, okay? All right? And Israel is that multitude, all right, of kindreds, of all nations, all right, and all tongues, okay? Roughly paraphrasing. All right, I'm gonna put it in front of me so I can reference it. Okay, so there we go. It says, Revelation 7 and 9, really quick again. It says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, all right, stood before the throne. And this is going to explain who that was, all right? 2 Esdras 2 and 40, it says, take thy number, O Sion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of the Lord. Okay? And that's going to be those who haven't taken the MOTB, the mark of the beast, and that wasn't branded by Esau, Edom. Okay? Okay, and we kept the words, all right? We endured, all right? Lord willing, we be of that number. Verse 41, the number of thy children whom thou longest for, all right, is fulfilled, okay? Meaning basically they're going to be sealed, okay? And why is the Lord longing for us? Because, of course, we're lost, all right? It says, beseech the power of the Lord, all right? It's beseeches, I think, is another word for beg. The power of the Lord, that thy people, all right, which have been called from the beginning, may be hallowed, may be holy, may be separate, okay? I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Sion a great people whom I could not number. All right, that's the multitude. And they all praised the Lord with songs. Remember, in Revelation 7 and 9, it said they had psalms in their hands. All right, it says, and in the midst of them, there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns. Salaki, give me a second. Okay, so let's continue. It says he set crowns, all right, and was more exalted, which I marveled greatly, all right. So I asked the angel and said, sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, these be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of God, all right. Now are they crowned and receive palms, all right. And so this directly lines up with Revelation 7 and 9. Okay, but this is dealing with Sion, all right, who was the multitude. Okay, it says whom I could not number. You see, all right, and that man of stature. All right, what's this going to explain? It says these that have put off the mortal clothing. Okay, basically put off this world and put on immortal, which is the eternal wisdom of the Heavenly Father, and have confessed the name of God, which is Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh Wa Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakak Kodash. All right, it says, now are they crowned and receives palms. Then said I unto the angel, what young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? All right, and it says, so he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of God, all right, Yahweh Shai, whom they have confessed in the world, all right, because nobody has known Yahweh Shai until we confessed him in the world, all right. They didn't know him by the name of Yahweh Shai. They called on him by another name, all right, with another spirit, okay. It says, then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. Then the angel said unto me, go thy way and tell thy people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Lord thy God thou hast seen. All right, and what he saw was the elect of the nation of Israel, the chosen, all right, all get crowned by Yahweh Shai, okay? And we were all clothed in white, Lord willing, we be at that number, all right? We were all clothed in white, okay? So that directly lines up with Revelation 7 and 9, okay? But it says, take thy number, O Sion, you see? And those that were scattered, those that's being sifted among all nations by way of the word, Okay, waking up. Because ultimately we're going to be saved by way of chariots. The scriptures speak on that. All right. It call it the strangeness of our salvation, which is another, topic for another time. Okay. But the number, of course, which when you read Revelations, the 7th chapter, it tells you the number of those that's going to be sealed. And that's why Ezra's saying the same thing. All right. It says, take thy number. And it says what? 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes of Israel, which equals out to 144,000. Okay. And then you got the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. All right. Okay. Of women and children and men that believe. But the 144,000 is the ruling body. Okay. And then you have 1/3, a multitude, 1/3 of the nation of Israel, 1/3 of the nation of Israel, which is going to be saved and brought through the fire. Okay. So you got the ruling body, and then you got the regular citizens of Israel. Okay. The Lord willing, this is making sense, So let's continue. Let's keep on trucking. All right. So 2 Ezra 3:34. Did I read that? 2 Ezra 3:34. Let's see what it says. 2 Ezra 3:34. It says, weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and there's also that dwell in the world, or that dwell the world, and so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel. Okay, so the only one that's really calling upon the Lord is Israel. They're calling him by his true name, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Everybody else is calling him different names. They're not calling on the name of the Lord, but only in Israel had that name been known. You see? So only the Israel have known that name, okay, and kept his ways to the best of our ability. Okay? All right, it says, or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? All right. And the nations have never sinned because they was never given the law. But when they put us in captivity, all right, and made the Bible the main book of their civilization, or the main knowledge of the civilization, then they put themselves in that stead. All right, so now, the nation have sinned, okay, because they have the nation of Israel in their grasp, so to speak. All right, and they're not letting us go, okay, and they're supposed to treat us according to what those laws say in this here book, okay. All right, it says, thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. All right, see. And that's going to be a problem for them. They're going to have to deal with that. All right. So James 1:1, just to hit home. All right. Because the point really has been made. All I had to do is really read 2 Ezra, the 2nd chapter, the 40th verse on down. And that's the number that's being sealed. All right. Which we see already being sealed in Revelation 7. And it goes by name. Okay. But the multitude, all right. And it says, which no man could number, out of all nations and kindreds and people. Those are Israelites that scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And the Lord has scattered us, which we read. Okay. So let's see. Let's continue. What did I have? James 1:1. Salaki. So James 1:1. All right. And it just kills vocab and his whole movement. All right. It kills the whole apologetic movement. It kills the whole of Christianity, Christendom. It's over with. All right. James 1:1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greeting. All right. So the tribes are scattered. All right. And the Lord said he was going to sift us from among all nations. What? With really the word. All right. And the elect is going to be sealed by what? The word. Okay. And that's why you Edomites are so mad. Acts 1:6. All right. Which this only proves that the Israelites, all right, was looking for a kingdom, but their kingdom. And they asked concerning the kingdom of the Lord, right? Acts 1:6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, all right, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? All right. And they were definitely talking about the kingdom of heaven. All right. The kingdom to end all kingdoms. Okay. For the most part, pretty much proved the point. But let's keep going. I had Isaiah 14:1. All right. Because it seems our enemies are super mad that we got that blessing. Still in claiming it. All right. Isaiah 14:1, for the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, you see, and will yet choose Israel. All right. And set them in their own land. Okay. And the strangers shall be joined with them. All right. Those are the scattered Israelites. Okay. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Okay. And that's not talking about the heathen. All right. So let's continue. Okay. All right. Numbers 23:8. All right. This is what Balaam had to say concerning Israel. It says, how shall I curse? Because Balak wanted Balaam to curse Israel. All right. And those dudes had got what they got coming. All right. Later on in the history, they were put to death. All right. Numbers 23:8. It says, how shall I curse whom the Most High hath not cursed? You see, Esau is cursing us now, the accuser of thine brother. All right. I want to say that in the last precept. They accusing us while the Lord has chosen us in the first place. And at the end all be all, he has chosen the nation of Israel to be saved. Okay. And they're mad. All right. All right. Numbers 23:8. How shall I curse whom God had not cursed? Okay. And how shall I defy whom the Lord had not defied? For from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone. All right. Alone, and shall not be reckoned among the nations. You see, we're going to be dwelling alone and not reckoned among the nations. All right. Let's look that word reckoned up really quick. All right. We're going to use the Anaginōskō online for this one. Okay. To be reckoned. To reckon. All right. Arrange in order. Recount. You see? Relate. You know how they had a census? Census Bureau. They had a census every 10 years. And they do a census of all the people in the communities all over the United States. But we're not going to be in arranged in the order or reckon among the nations. You're not going to be counting our heads with the heathen. You see? All right? Because we're God's inheritance. It's for you dummies out there. Numbers 23, all right, and 10. Who can count the dust of Jacob in the number of the fourth part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous, all right, and let my last end be like his, okay? Because the death that we're going to die, all right, is actually going to lead us into life, eternal, because it was promised. Okay, and so that's why Balaam, he wanted to die the death of the righteous and be reckoned well, our end, he wanted his end to be like ours, okay, which is salvation, okay, and their end is going to be death and destruction, okay. It says, who can count the dust of Jacob? Verse 11, it says, and Balak said unto Balaam, what hast thou done unto me? I took thee to curse mine enemies, and behold, thou hast blessed them altogether. And he answered and said, must I not take heed to speak that which the Lord Yahweh hath put in my mouth? And Balak said unto him, come, I pray thee, with me unto another place, from whence thou mayest see them. Thou shalt see but the utmost part of them. All right, and shalt not see them all, and curse me them from thence. All right. And it basically to no avail. It really was to no avail, excuse me. All right. Because who can curse that which the Lord blessed? Nobody. And that's why you Edomites are hurt now. vocab Malone. All right. You know, you got in the different apologetic Christians. Okay. You're hurt because we bringing this thing out and we reveal, all right, through the Spirit, who the Lord is saving. All right. Deuteronomy 33. I'm not going to put it on the screen because I'm about to close out. In 26. All right. And it says, there is none like unto God of Jeshurun, who rideth upon the heaven in thy help, and in his excellency on the sky. All right. The eternal God is thy refuge. Let me just put it up there for you. Okay. All right. And 26. Okay. Because Jeshurun is another word for Israel. Okay. Because we call many things. All right. This is just another word for Israel. All right. Deuteronomy 33 and 26. There is none like unto the God of Jeshurun, Yashawan, all right, which I believe, Yashawan. I have to look it up, Salakia. I done forgot. I normally wouldn't forget, but yeah. Yashawan, Prince. Yashar, I know Yashar, Prince. Yashar one. All right, upright one. There we go. Some kept saying one in my head, but I want to be sure. So Deuteronomy 32 and 26, it says, there is none like unto the God of Jeshurun, who rideth upon the heaven in thy help, and his excellency on the sky. You see, it said the eternal God is thy refuge. Okay, because the Lord is coming in spaceships to save his people. All right, the eternal God is thy refuge. Okay, and underneath are the everlasting arms, right, his strength. Okay, and he shall thrust out the enemy from before thee and shall destroy them. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Jacob shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Also his heavens shall drop down dew. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people, saved by the Lord Yahweh power, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency. And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee. You see? And thou shalt tread upon their high places. And this is perfect to end off the lesson. Okay, because these people are going to be found liars, and we're going to be the ones saved. You know, so with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. Until next time, I say shalom. Shalom.